Hits 105.5. That was Tenderness by General Public. Good morning. Welcome to the morning show. Hope everyone is having a wonderful Wednesday morning. In the studio with me, I have Shelby County Commissioner Julie Eheman with Around the County. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Tracey. I'm great. The sun is shining.
I know. Did you see that sunrise this morning?
You know, I see a little bit of it when I have to let the dogs out and they need to go bark at the neighbors or anything else that might be out there.
Yeah.
You know? So
they have to investigate.
So sorry to my neighbors that have to listen to Rex bark all the time.
I know. I feel bad too. My dog has to go out there and do the same thing. She has to be nosy and look around.
I think he just announces to everybody, hey, it's morning and I'm awake. And so you should be too.
You should be too.
You should be too.
You're missing a beautiful sunrise.
Yeah.
It was
it
gorgeous.
reminds me of when my dad used to come on Saturday morning and say, what you going to do? Sleep all day? And I'd be like, well, 8:30 would have been nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now if I'm in bed till 8:30, I'm sick.
Oh, I know. That's me. That's me. Yeah. My daughter saw you the other day. Then we'll get her to Around the County.
She was too funny.
Yeah, she was
cute. Too funny. 2 loads of laundry in, walk the dogs. I'm walking out of the grocery. And she goes, I just got up.
Yeah. She said, I see this lady and she just looks like a fashion model.
Oh, right. Because everybody does when they go to the grocery.
Yeah, but she was so cute. She said, you know, I went in my pajamas and I see this beautiful lady and it's Julie. And she goes, I want to be her. So you inspired the youngster.
Okay, I'll keep trying. Hey, I want to say Happy National FFA Week.
It is.
It is. So I want to make a shout out to the students, past and present, and the instructors that have made FFA such a strong program in Shelby County. And I use that kind of as a lead-in because Shelby County is an agriculture-centered community. Even though we have so much manufacturing, ag is really big. According to the 22 census, we have 933 farms in Shelby County, with 209,000 acres dedicated to farming. The market value of these ag products sold was $302,659,000. It's staggering, isn't it? It's staggering. But the average age of our farmers in Shelby County is 55 years old. So we need to be supporting these young farmers, and I think FFA is a great way to keep our youth engaged in farming and help them do it right. Right. You know, help them do it right. So I bring this up because I recently returned from NACO, which is National Association of Counties Conference. And at the conference, I serve as Ag and Rural Affairs Vice Chair and Rural Action Caucus Vice Chair. And we gather to learn about issues important to our communities and advocate on those issues as necessary. One of our speakers at the conference was Ag Secretary Tom Vilsack. And he gave a presentation and talked a bit about the Farm Bill, and talked about how we as a community need to be looking at things in a different way. So he talked about the Ag Department's partnership for climate-smart commodities to help small and mid-sized farmers. And he's really kind of talking out of the box, different things, talking about how to strengthen our local food networks with regional food systems, converting ag waste into new products, including sustainable aviation fuel. And he talked about carbon sequestration programs. And I'm not really sold yet on that idea. I need to learn more about that. But his presentation was really interesting. We talked about the Farm Bill. There are 12 titles to the Farm Bill, some of which include critical investments in infrastructure, such as wastewater. So whenever the community is looking at wastewater projects, we're looking to programs available within the Farm Bill to help us fund that. Economic development, workforce training, nutrition, and conservation programs. One of the biggest things in the Farm Bill is SNAP, which stands for Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. And that's food assistance for a lot of people. In Ohio, the county administers that program. Along some other states do, but not all states give that responsibility to the county. But Ohio gives that responsibility to the county. You administer the program. So it's really important for us to keep up on how it's supposed to be implemented, who's going to be eligible, because our county administers that and has to work through all of those issues. So that's a big program. Then some of the money in 2018's Farm Bill, $350 million was allocated for rural broadband. Still waiting to see how I get some of that here. But we need to ensure these initiatives continue for our community and our residents. Another statistic says that 14.5 million Americans lack decent broadband. It might mean they have some broadband, but to actually have speeds and upload and download that are sufficient, 14.5 million Americans lack that. So we need to keep continuing with that. And in our own community, there's a lot of people that have spotty broadband. And you know that I keep talking about how the commissioners are working on developing this program, working with our vendors. So there's a program out there right now called the BEAD program, which stands for Broadband Equity, Access, and Deployment. And counties have a role in this through being a local coordinator of broadband infrastructure funding, as well as serving as direct subrecipients or funders. So we're trying to work with our local providers to see how we can assist them in growing their outreach and getting to those people in our rural areas that just don't have sufficient broadband. So it was a great conference. I get to meet so many people from throughout the country and, share ideas and hear what they're doing in their community. So I really love going. I love coming back with ideas on what we might be able to do here locally. The guys are always like, oh, she's coming back from conference again.
She got to talk to some people. Got ideas.
It's great talking to people. That would be cool
because, and then some of the similarities that you guys do, their ideas, and you probably had ideas that they didn't think of. So it's good to network like that.
It really is.
That's great.
It really is. We talk about there's 88 counties in Ohio, and every county does things a little bit differently. Then you get out to the states, and every state does things a little bit differently. So, but sometimes you can still feed on good ideas, and you can be like, oh, thank goodness we're not doing that.
Yeah. And thank goodness we have access to this, and they might not. And it's just that's interesting. That would be fun to go to those and just absorb whatever's there.
I tell you, when I talk to people about what we have in Shelby County between our agriculture and our manufacturing, there's a lot of counties that are like, gosh, I wish I was more like Shelby County.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So we Tony likes to say we got a good piece of the pie here. So I agree.
I like how he says that. Now I'm hungry for pie. Thanks, Tony. Thanks, Julie. Well, and I do have to say, I love the FFA program. And,
totally.
And I know Shelby was in it. My kids were in FFA, and they were fortunate. They loved it. Even Dusty was in it all 4 years, even though he has no clue about farming, but he loved that class. And then Camille was in it. Carly was in it, and even showed her horse 1 year through it. So, and I just think it's a great program for the kids to learn. They always had fun, and
when they're down in the pit doing the soil judging, or Shelby was on a team that went and judged horses on confirmation. That.
Yeah, they grew. They had chickens 1 year, and Carly was like, the kids were, oh, they're so cute. She's like, they're only here for 6 weeks. And so you could tell the farmers.
She didn't get attached to her chickens.
No. You could tell the kids that were truly into farming, and the kids were just like, oh, okay.
Well, we've got some really great organizations within this community, both with the pork producers, and we've got the cattlemen merged with the dairy, and so now they're one entity. We need to be able to support them and help them with their initiatives so that they can be successful.
Yes. And we have the morning farm show with Dale Minyo at 6:15 every morning, Monday through Friday. So you can get the updates and all of that too. And I always love to listen to him because he talks about a lot of the things that you talk about. He's really involved in all the broadband and all of the stuff that you talked about. So, yeah. And catch Around the County with Shelby County Commissioner Julie Eheman every Wednesday at 8:15. All right. Well, thank you so much. And again, I want to thank you for lining up John Caulfield and the Board of Elections last week. Thank you. That was fantastic.
Well, it is all about around the county.
Yes.
So I keep telling the villages, too, if there's something that they want to talk about, they just have to reach out to me, and we will make sure that they get on so that we're truly talking about around the county.
Yes.
It's not just Julie and what Julie did last week, because this is about around the county.
And, there's so many things that involve our county that I had no idea.
Yeah, there's a lot of agencies that we deal with.
There is. And if you're listening, you know who to call. You can come on the air and talk about it because it's fun. Anyway, and we inform people at the same time. All right. Well, thank you so much,
Thanks
Julie.
for having me.
Yeah. Well, I hope you have a good rest of your day. Coming up next, I Would Die for You by Prince. It's Hits 105.5.